everyone, thank you for choosing Biophilia as your study mate. Hope it helps you with your study time. So as you appreciate all the efforts put into each and every video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and do even hit the bell icon for the video notifications. So as a good habit, biophilia ensures that you have a brief look at the previous topics for the perfection in the next. So we are going to make the perfect topics. So let's brief out about leukocytes or leukocytes को हम बोलते हैं WBCs. So white blood cells is going to be the topic for our main highlights in the revision slide. So this is just the revision जहाँ पे हम main points देखेंगे about the topic. But for the detailed revision or perfection, I link down the video of the previous part. तो आप description box में जाके वो link पे click करके you can view that video and do also check out some other videos on this channel. तो यहाँ पे हम देख रहे हैं about white blood cells जिसको हमने previous video में cover किया था as they were colorless, rounded or irregular shaped cells having their count about 6,000 to 8,000 और हमने count के बारे में detailed study की थी so you can see that study in the previous part उसमें से एक abnormal increase of WBCs का case था that was called as leukemia फिर हमने लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ WBCs पढ़ा जिसमें द फॉर्मेशन वाज कॉल्ड एज ल्यूकोपोएसिस देन वी हैड अ डिस्कशन about the types of WBCs wherein we saw the granulocytes and the agranulocytes और उसके अंदर के subdivisions. So we had a detailed comparison chart which is going to help you. So if you need that particular chart, you can go and view that video. You will get it into that video. So इसके साथ we complete the highlights of the previous topic that was WBCs. Now we will move on with the main topic for this video. तो ये वीडियो में हम पढ़ने वाले हैं अबाउट थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स सो थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स इज गोइंग टू बी द थर्ड फॉर्म एलिमेंट ऑफ द ब्लड सो थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स आर आल्सो कॉल्ड एज प्लेटलेट्स सो प्लेटलेट्स के बारे में जानने के लिए एवरीवन सुपर कूल सो लेट्स स्टार्ट स्टडीइंग अबाउट प्लेटलेट्स सो प्लेटलेट्स जो होते हैं दे आर गोइंग टू बी द स्मॉलेस्ट of the formed elements. कौन से formed elements थे? First we studied about the red blood cells as erythrocytes. फिर हमने WBCs के बारे में पढ़ा which was the white blood corpuscles that is leukocytes. फिर अब हम पढ़ रहे हैं about platelets और the thrombocytes. So these are the smallest among all these formed elements. और थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स की स्पेशलिटी है इट इज़ फॉर्म्ड और ऑकरिंग ओनली इन द मैमल्स सो मैमल्स में ही थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स प्रेजेंट होंगे दे विल नॉट बी फॉर्म्ड इन एनी अदर एनिमल ग्रुप फिर अगर शेप एंड स्ट्रक्चर की बात हो फॉर प्लेटलेट्स दे आर गोइंग टू बी सेल फ्रैगमेंट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट नोट टू बी हाईलाइटेड दे आर सेल फ्रैगमेंट्स जैसे RBCs और WBCs दे आर कंप्लीट सेल्स बट थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स आर गोइंग टू बी सेल फ्रैगमेंट्स जो बड़े सेल में से टूट के बाहर आएंगे सो द लार्जर सेल हुज parts are going to be broken down that is called as megakaryocyte so megakaryocyte एक बड़ा सा सेल है जिसमें से थोड़े थोड़े टुकड़े बाहर आएंगे so these small pieces of a larger cell are nothing but platelets और ये जो बड़ा सेल है that is megakaryocyte अब composition of platelets क्या होता है maximum part is going to be cytoplasm और उसमें अंदर एक कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल प्रोटीन होगा दैट इज कॉल्ड एज थ्रोम्बोनथिन दिस थ्रोम्बोनथिन इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ साइटोप्लाज्म इज गोइंग टू ब्रेक आउट फ्रॉम द बिगर सेल अब जैसे ये सेल फ्रैगमेंट्स है तो ईच एंड एवरी फ्रैगमेंट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैव न्यूक्लियस सो थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स आर नॉट गोइंग टू हैव न्यूक्लियस कैन यू नेम one more formed elements जिसमें nucleus नहीं था in the mature state so that was nothing but RBCs even RBCs did not have nucleus so वैसे ही when you see some points you can recollect the previous studied points regarding it तो आप वैसे ही revise करते जाओगे as we did it right now हमने पढ़ा nucleus absent है So we saw that even RBC did not have nucleus and if you speak about WBCs तो WBCs में nucleus होता है so this way you can make your notes and you can revise side by side learning the new topics फिर अब thrombocytes are going to be formed in bone marrow और bone marrow ही में बाकी सारे formed elements के cells भी बनते हैं Then about the lifespan of the thrombocytes, it is going to be about a week, and thrombocytes की count is going to be a mid range count, यानी RBCs से कम होगी but it is going to be higher than the WBCs. So count होती है about 1.5 to 3.5 lakh per millimeter cube. और क्रिटिकल कंडीशंस में अगर प्लेटलेट्स का काउंट कम हो जाता है, सो क्रिटिकल केस होगा इफ इट फॉल्स अंडर 40,000. तो 40,000 से अगर कम है या फिर इट इज नियर बाय दैट रेंज, सो इट इज अ मेडिकल इमरजेंसी वेयर यू शुड गो एंड चेक आउट विथ योर डॉक्टर फॉर द रीजंस. तो अगर 40,000 से कम हो जाती है, दैट इज अ क्रिटिकल केस, तो यू कैन सी सम रेड स्पॉट्स और रैशेस अपीयरिंग ऑन योर स्किन. So you can see in the photograph, हर जगह पे there are going to be red spots seen onto your body. तो अगर ऐसे स्किन पे if you start seeing such symptoms, you should go and check out your doctor or a pathology lab wherein you can go and test your platelets. If the platelets count is less, तो आप एक डिसीज के शिकार हो, that is purpura disease. So this purpura disease is a bleeding disorder. क्योंकि bleeding disorder है because we are going to see that platelets are going to help in blood clotting. तो clotting अगर नहीं हो रहा है because of less number of thrombocytes or the platelets, in that case purpura disease होता है wherein the platelet count is going to decrease. अगर प्लेटलेट काउंट बहुत ज़्यादा कम हो रहा है, इफ इट इज हाईली डिक्रीजिंग, एंड दैट डिक्रीज कैन ऑल्सो बी कॉल्ड एज थ्रोम्बोसाइटोपेनिया. इन दिस थ्रोम्बोसाइटोपेनिया कैन ऑकर अलॉन्ग विथ द डेंगू सिम्टम्स. सो डेंगू जो स्प्रेड होता है विद द एडिस मस्कीटो, in that case you can have a symptom that is thrombocytopenia, wherein you can find that platelets have been decreased in the blood. अब हम पढ़ेंगे about functions of platelets. So the first function for platelets is going to be prepare the endothelium for blood vessels. अब how is it going to prepare? Is it going to prepare by formation of platelet plug? Platelet plug मतलब जो एक there is going to be coagulation of the platelets, वो सब एक साथ में आके they are going to aggregate, और वो सब साथ में आने पे they are going to form a clot like thing. So that is nothing but formation of platelet plug. फिर platelets एक it is a secretion by platelets, that is thromboplastin. So thromboplastin secrete होगा, there is going to be synthesis of serotonin, and even it is going to help in the major function, that is coagulation of blood. So blood clotting अगर ठीक से नहीं हो रहा है, then there are different types of diseases or medical conditions that can occur. So this is the small GIF wherein you can see how the platelets are going to help in blood clotting and even prepare the endothelium for the blood vessels. तो वो जो यहाँ पे जो एक coagulation हो रहा है, that is nothing but the platelet plug. So now you can relate what we studied in the theory. So if you like such things in our video, do like, share and subscribe so that even many more people can view this and study well in their exams. Now let's see about plasma clotting factors. So clotting factors जो होते हैं, that is in total 13. So 1 से लेकर 13 तक होते हैं, but in this there are different names according to the factor number. तो जैसे factor 1 को नाम दिया है fibrinogen, second को दिया है prothrombin, and the tissue thromboplastin, calcium ions, labile factor, all like these are going to be the names for clotting factors. अब यहाँ पे if you can see there is going to be a factor 6 that is given a name as hypothetical or it is not proven yet. So उसका meaning ऐसा है कि that this particular factor is not going to do any sort of function regarding blood clotting. So blood clotting में it has no function, that is the reason we do not consider factor 6 for plasma clotting factors. तो उसकी वजह से हम 6 को नहीं पढ़ते हैं अंडर द प्लाज्मा क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स. We will go from number 5 to directly number 7. So this is not going to be for our study. फिर 7th 8th 9th 10th 11th वैसे बहुत सारे आगे there are going to be different clotting factors. अब there is going to be a task for you. You have to remember the names of these clotting factors. But you know, जैसे नाम दिख रहे हैं, it is not easy to remember those or at least know them completely. So let me help you with it. Can you see this photograph? So if you can, then this is the photograph that is going to help you to remember all these names. Okay, at least if you see them, you can understand कि वो plasma clotting factors है भी या नहीं. So you might be thinking ये photograph को देख के how can you know remember these all clotting factors? So let me help you with it. There is a mnemonic जैसे you can remember just one single line and वो आपको help करेगा to remember or at least recollect all the plasma clotting factors. जैसे fit pants, tight collars, loose shirts are cool, says pretty heroine Farah. तो आप ऐसे याद रख सकते हो कि ये एक हीरोइन है जिसका नाम फरा है और वो बहुत अच्छी खूबसूरत दिखने वाली हीरोइन है एंड शी सेज दैट देयर इज अ कूल स्टाइल जिसमें यू वेयर फिटेड पैंट्स, यू वेयर टाइट कॉलर्स, यू वेयर लूज शर्ट्स एंड दैट मेक्स यू लुक cool. So if you remember this particular phrase or this particular line, तो आप उसके starting letters से you can recollect all the plasma clotting factors. So I hope you like this mnemonics, and for more such mnemonics and pretty cool tricks to remember all things, you have to stay connected to Biophilia. So let's see in short about the blood clotting. So I'll play a video for you wherein you can understand a little thing about blood clotting, and then we will proceed further with the details of blood clotting. So do hear this video clearly and try to understand so that it can help you with the further details.
Do you remember tripping over as a kid and cutting your knee, and then magically the bleeding suddenly stops? Or have you ever wondered why this happens? Our body is very clever and produces substances to seal off the open wound. In this video, we are going to look at how and why blood clots. Clotting prevents us from bleeding to death, and also protects us from nasty disease-causing organisms called pathogens entering our body. When we injure ourselves, we can damage the blood vessels just below our skin. This can cause blood to either leak into our tissue and form a bruise, or if the skin is broken, to openly bleed. To prevent these horrible things happening, blood clotting occurs. So let's have a look at how this happens. Starting with platelets. These are tiny cell fragments that float around in our blood. When a blood vessel is damaged, collagen is exposed. This collagen exposure attracts platelets to the injured area. The platelets then stick together to form a plug. They've quickly built a barrier that stops us from losing too much blood. However, this platelet plug isn't that strong, so it needs to be made stronger. A protein called fibrin does exactly that. In our blood, there are soluble fibrinogen proteins. At a wound, these soluble fibrinogen proteins are exposed to outside chemicals that aren't normally found in blood vessels. Like with the collagen and platelets, this exposure causes the fibrinogen proteins to turn into sticky fibrin fibers. The fibrin fibers form a mesh, holding all the platelets together and making a much stronger clot. More platelets, red blood cells and other components in our blood all get stuck to the mesh, making it even stronger. This clot stops more blood escaping the body and also prevents nasty pathogens entering our body from the outside. The clot develops into a scab, which protects the wound as it heals, and new layers of skin form underneath. So really, all a scab is just platelets trapped in the fibrin mesh. It is like putting a plug in a sink. When the new skin is fully formed, the scab will fall off, revealing the lovely brand new skin underneath. A final thing to note, remember that I said the exposure to the collagen causes the platelets to stick together. and the exposure to the outside chemicals causes the fibrinogen to turn into sticky fibrin, both the platelets and the fibrin only become sticky after the exposure. This means in a normal, healthy blood vessel, they won't randomly cause clots.
So now, as you have seen the video, now you just have a little idea about blood clotting कैसे होता है and how all things go on. So this is going to help you to build a concept for the details of blood clotting जो हम आगे पढ़ने वाले हैं. So if you like this, you can see more videos on biophilia. वहाँ पे बहुत सारे और topics के भी videos हैं. So you can see those and practice well like these. So let's go into the details of blood clotting. So let's now understand about the mechanism of blood clotting. So blood clotting होता है wherein there is an injury into your tissue that might be internal or external, but the mechanism is going to remain the same. So for our understanding, let's understand कि जो injury है that is going to be because of a nail that has penetrated into your tissue. अब ये tissue में जब nail it has penetrated, it is going to even strike the blood vessels below the tissue. So अगर blood vessels में भी ये nail has been going into, तो क्या होगा? The blood is going to flow. So once the blood starts flowing, the body needs to stop that blood flow and form a clot. So all that process that happens to form a clot is our study for this topic. So blood clotting may the first step that occurs is going to be releasing thromboplastin. So there is going to be the release of thromboplastin or thromboplastin ये injury site से release होगा. So it is going to release and send signals कि at this particular place there is a need of blood clotting. Now once this thromboplastin has been released by the injury site, even the tissues that is surrounding nearby the site of injury are going to release extra tissue thromboplastin. So ये सारा thromboplastin जो release हुआ है into your blood, that is going to help in formation of an enzyme complex. This enzyme complex named as thrombokinase is going to help in cascading effect of further events. So अब जैसे thrombokinase बन गया है into your blood, it is going to help convert the inactive protein that is prothrombin into thrombin. So if that inactive protein that is prothrombin को अगर हमें active बनाना है, that is it is going to gain the capacity of acting, तो वो thrombin बनने के लिए there is a need of the enzyme that is called as thrombokinase. So thrombokinase बना था because of thromboplastins. So thrombokinase से अभी बना है thrombin. So now this thrombin is going to be another enzyme which is going to help in the next event. So next event is with the help of thrombin, the soluble fibrinogen is going to convert into insoluble fibrin. So अभी जैसे हमने देखा कि prothrombin inactive था, वैसे ही the same process is going to happen with fibrinogen. So fibrinogen is going to be a protein which is going to be soluble. वो blood में soluble है that plasma, and that needs to be made insoluble. So that insoluble state is going to be called as fibrin. अब ये fibrin जो होता है, it is going to be like a sticky thread. So this sticky threads are going to be formed because of thrombin. So जैसे ही thrombin act करेगा with fibrinogen, this fibrin is going to be formed. Now once this fibrin threads are going to be formed, they are going to form a mesh-like structure surrounding the injury. So all that fibrin is going to form a network of threads. So ये network of threads जो है that are sticky areas. So ये sticky areas में सारे dead and damaged formed elements are going to be trapped, and once that trap has been formed, that is nothing but coagulum or the blood clot. So all that long procedure has to occur into your blood vessels and surrounding tissues, so that a normal blood clot can be formed immediately. So ये दिखने के लिए it forms to be a long process, but it has to happen in few seconds to avoid a huge blood loss. So हमने अभी देखा कि that is a network of threads that occurs forming a blood clot. So वो to understand that, this photograph is going to help you. So in this photograph you can see some yellow colored fibers that are going on. So ये सारे yellow colored fibers are nothing but the sticky threads of fibrin, और ये जो red color से है, these are nothing but the dead and damaged RBCs generally, क्योंकि RBCs का count ज़्यादा होता है, so majorly the RBCs are going to flow out of it. So all that together are going to form the blood clot, or you can call it as coagulum. So if you have understood the coagulation of blood, we can move on with the next topic, that is the application of this particular topic. So it is very important कि आपको coagulation of blood is very crystal clear. So now let's see about a disease that is called as hemophilia. So hemophilia एक ऐसा disease है जिसको Royals disease या Bleeders disease बोलते हैं. So it is called as a Royals disease because the royal family of England, that is Queen Victoria, has been carrying this gene in her X chromosome for hemophilia, जिसकी वजह से it goes on with the family tree of the royals family. So it is also called as a royals disease. अब bleeders disease क्यों बोलते हैं? Because in this particular hemophilia disease, the person is suffering from abnormal blood clotting. So it is going to bleed and bleed. So the name bleeders disease. अब हीमोफीलिया जो है, since it is inherited from the X linked genetic disorder, वो X chromosome पे एक जीन होता है, and because of that non functional gene there is going to be abnormal blood clotting. अब हीमोफीलिया जो है, since the non-functional gene is occurring, अगर gene है, so you might have studied in the lower classes that this gene is nothing but DNA, and DNA is going to form RNA, and RNA forming proteins. So these proteins are nothing but formed in the प्लाज्मा, जिसको हम बोलते हैं प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स या प्लाज्मा क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स. So these plasma clotting factors needs to be there, but hemophilia patients may, because of a abnormal or non-functional gene, the plasma clotting factors are going to be affected. So अगर प्लाज्मा क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर नंबर 8 अगर अफेक्टेड है, सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ रीजन फॉर हीमोफीलिया ए. अगर 9th क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर में प्रॉब्लम है, इफ देर इज लो अमाउंट्स ऑफ क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर 9, देन इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ हीमोफीलिया बी. Hemophilia C में clotting factor 11 is going to be affected, and clotting factor 5 is going to be affected in parahemophilia. So now you can understand जो हमने just थोड़े मिनटों पहले we studied about clotting factors that needs to be perfectly fine into your plasma. अगर एक भी clotting factor में if there is low amounts found, that can have a lifetime disease, that is hemophilia. So now you can relate to the things that we already studied. So normal clotting अगर है, so it is the normal condition जहाँ पे clotting factors and all that things is needed in blood clotting has been normally observed. But hemophilia patients में, because of non-functional gene, there is inability of forming clots. So now you can see in this particular figure that if there is a damaged blood vessel, so blood vessels are also capillaries that flow into your nose. So generally injury hemophilia patient में there is internal nose bleeding. So because of internal nose bleeding, if the normal person has this nose bleeding, within few minutes it has to stop. But hemophilia patients, because they cannot form clots, they lead to lot of blood that starts flowing out of their internal nose injuries. So agar internal nose injuries, yeah, if there is any sort of blood vessel that has been damaged internally or nearby the external skin, then in the case of hemophilia patient, there is not going to be formation of a clot. अगर clot formation नहीं होगा, तो that blood is going to keep on flowing and the person can bleed up to death. क्योंकि अगर ब्लड बाहर आएगा, ऑक्सीजन लेवल्स आर गोइंग टू ड्रॉप ऑफ एंड द पर्सन कैन फेंट and finally die if the medical emergency has not been noted. But अगर hemophilic patient नहीं है, normal condition है, so in that case the blood clot is going to be formed and the person is safe now. So with this we complete our video of understanding about the platelets. So we saw about platelets, हमने उसके we saw each and everything related to it. So if you like all those things that happen on our channel, do stay connected with it. Do start revising all the things that have been taught onto this video. So you can always go and check other videos for revision. You can stop, replay and understand all the concepts in detail. That's the beauty of biophilia, sharing videos of it. So if you like all those videos and the efforts that we put into each and every video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We will come back with one more amazing session where the next topic of this chapter is going to be covered. So if you need to see those videos and clear your topics, you need to hit the bell icon so that even you can start studying about those. So till then, the next video comes, you have to stay smiling, keep studying hard, be motivated. Until the next time we meet you in the next video. Thank you.